This is a Alpha-1 review of none other than The Long Halloween. It was definitely a spectacular show. But let's just get right into the card. Your first event match was none other than the Zero Gravity Championship, where you had Josh Briggs as the champion taking on former two-time Zero Gravity champion, none other than Alessandro del Bruno, with that cheesy Mark Wheeler at ringside. And to say that was a very solid match between the two. And it looked like Del Bruno was actually going to beat the Man Beast without Wheeler's interference. But of course, Wheeler always has to interfere in his business that's not his own. But in the end, you did have the Man Beast, Josh Briggs, retain the Zero Gravity title. And remember Del Bruno, remember Wheeler, he doesn't like you. But the win comes to a surprise that Wheeler didn't try to save Del Bruno, because he was in perfect line to do so. But I am just glad that Briggs is still your Alpha-1 Zero Gravity champion. Next, we had a triple threat match for the Alpha-1 tag team titles, where you had the Fraternity taking on Western Med Connection, taking on Space Pirates. Fraternity stole the match, I believe, in my opinion. We had both Space Pirates and Fraternity kick the ever-loving shit out of the Western Med Connection, to the enjoyment of everyone in the crowd, except for Austin. And they were quickly eliminated from the match. Again, to the pleasure of everyone in the Knights of Columbus, except for Austin. Which led to Space Pirates taking on the Fraternity, and when it looked like the Fraternity was going to pull up the victory and become new Alpha-1 champions, no. Space Pirates retained the Alpha-1 tag team titles, and at the end of the match, the Fraternity showed a total sign of respect towards the champions. Unfortunately, Western Med Connection could not, and attacked them from behind using a ladder. Fraternity made the save, and I believe this is nowhere being done, but yet we will continue seeing these three teams face each other, excluding every other team in Ontario and in professional independent wrestling. I, for one, would gladly see more Fraternity, but sooner or later, we're going to have to see another team challenge for these titles. Next, we had a special person come to Alpha-1, someone that made his debut here in Alpha-1 at this event. People in the independent circuit in Ontario might know the guy. It is none other than Puff, as he was taking on one half of Cooler House, Gregory Irons, aka Papa Shlongo. And Puff, being Puff, was dominant in having fun doing it. Gregory Irons was able to mount some offense, and those two had a reasonably good match. The ending was Gregory Irons took Puff down and pinned him 1, 2, 3 to pick up the victory, which was, in my opinion, a very weak finish to the match. And I believe, as well as a few other people that I talked to, believe that Puff should have been the victor. And depriving him of that win was criminal. So, that was a little bit of a sore spot for some of us, but otherwise a solid match. Next, we went to the Outer Limits Elimination match, where you had Eazy-E, Eric Carney, the Night Train, Justin Sane, Moxie, Matt Knicks, Mark Wheeler, the cheesy one himself, and the champion, Brent Michael Davis, BMD. What a spectacular match, but it felt like two matches in one, where you had Eazy-E and Justin Sane attack isolating BMD, and you had Moxie taking on Knicks, with Wheeler being to the extreme level of cheesiness.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
So, Mark Lear clearly was just an afterthought in this match. And in the order of eliminations, you had Moxie, then Knicks, then, thank God, Wheeler, then Sane. It came down to Eazy-E, Eric Carney, and BMD. So Justin Sane was distracting the ref because he would refuse to leave. We saw a masked man come to the ring and attack BMD with the title belt, which made Eazy-E pick up the victory and become your new Outer Limits champion. We had a short promo between Justin Sane and Eazy-E, introducing this masked man, who was none other than Cheech, which allowed the crowd to start going into a Cheech chant, where he told us to shut the F up. Because where were you guys for the last 6 months? Personally, don't include me in it, because I've always wanted to see Cheech back in Alpha-1 and finally get to do so. Then, we had your Battle of Respect, Battle of the Egos match, where we had none other than All Ego Ethan Page facing against a guy that you know is better than you, and you know it. MJF. I don't know why you guys are calling him MJF. MJF. It's not MJF. It's MJF. It was a great match with both of them throwing everything they had at each other. In the end, All Ego picked up the victory and had some words for MJF after the match. It's like, stop being a dick. You're gonna destroy everything and you're gonna isolate yourself. MJF is like, who needs friends when you got money? It's showing shades of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. So, this led to them bickering back and forth, and now a match announcement for Final Act 9. we will have a tag team match where you will have MJF teaming up with one half of the OGs, Homicide, taking on All Ego Ethan Page and who he says is MJF's daddy. Boom, boom, Colt Cabana, baby. That looks very interesting, if I may do say so myself, and look forward to seeing that match at Final Act 9.
After the event, when we went to go get some autographs from MGF, he decided to give us some interesting names when he gave us his autograph.
Then we had your triple threat match for the number one contendership for the Alpha Male title, where you had the Diamond Tiger, Kobe Durst, taking on RSP, Ricky Shane Page, taking on He's Not Human, none other than the former WWE legend, PCO. A very, very great match with starting of it where RSP and PCO were kicking the ever-loving shit of Kobe Durst. A great back and forth, but for some reason, the match felt like it ended abruptly with Kobe Durst picking up the pinfall over RSP while PCO was laid out. Which begs you to the question, what the match just didn't feel like it came to a proper conclusion. And also, Alpha-1, you're doing a Halloween show. Why did you not have PCO's manager come give him the electric shock to wake him out of all shows? You should have at least had him on your Halloween show. So, Kobe Durst is your number one contender, much to the surprise of no one. So, at the end, we had RSP in the ring by himself, where we heard the familiar music of none other than the boss, Stokely Hathaway. Cheers to you, Stokely. And he was berating RSP and gave him a good beatdown, courtesy of the big man, PB Smooth. Ricky says, I've been champion for almost a year. I took everything you had to throw at me. Why don't you do it yourself? You try to take me out. So, another match was announced for Final Act 9. Stokely Hathaway, the boss, taking on none other than the former All Alpha Male champion, the second man ever to get the Grand Slam in Alpha-1, Ricky Shane Page. But there's going to be quite a few stipulations to this match. That is, if Ricky Shane Page gets disqualified, gets counted out, gets submitted, gets pinned, he will be automatically fired from Alpha-1 Wrestling. Whereas Stokely Hathaway, for him this match will be no disqualifications, no countout. So the ball is definitely in Stokely Hathaway's court and in his favor as well. Another match we're seeing at Final Act 9 to see what will happen to Ricky Shane Page. This leads us to your main event of the evening, where you had Josh Alexander taking on the undefeated in Alpha-1, DJZ. And man, oh man, was this a perfect main event. These two went to war for the biggest prize in Alpha-1. DJZ threw everything he had at Josh Alexander and almost beat him on a few occasions. This match even went towards the bar and had some good bar spots in it. But in the end, Josh, showing you why he is a 4-time alpha male, picked up the victory. After that, we had the Diamond Tiger, Kobe Durst, come out and tell Josh why that he's been so mentally disturbed because he lost to Josh back in February, and that his career has not recovered since then. So, for the third match announcement for Final Act 9, we will have a rematch for the Alpha between Kobe Durst and Josh Alexander, again in a 60-man Iron Man match, this time for the Alpha Male Championship. My thoughts and opinions of that will have to wait until that hype video. Overall, Another Long Halloween was a solid card produced by Alpha-1. Maybe not as good as the original Long Halloween, but a good one nonetheless. So remember, people, the next time you can catch Alpha-1 wrestling will be in Oshawa, Ontario on November 4th for Forever Causing a Ruckus, featuring none other than WWE alumni, TNA alumni, D'Lo Brown, which is worth the trip to Oshawa in my opinion. Then after that, you had Final Act 9 here in Hamilton, Ontario at the Knights of Columbus. More information will follow for it, but don't forget, people, hit the like button to this video, subscribe to my channel, as well subscribe to the fellow members of the Tyson Papa production, Cindy and Brian, as well follow all three of us when we do our collaborative hype videos at Tyson Poppy Productions on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. So, peace out all, and I hope you have a spooky and scary Halloween.